Hello, my name is Maia Young. I'm a second generation Jamaican American, and I'm a third year medical student at the Mayo Clinic Alex School of Medicine. This is my elevated story. I didn't really always know I wanted to go into healthcare or medicine for that matter. In my childhood years, going to funeral after funeral after funeral, mostly from preventable causes such as pneumonia, complications from HIV/AIDS, lung cancer from chronic smoking, um, and just other causes of death, including drug overdose and drug abuse, as well as then reading Dr. Ben Carson's autobiography, Gifted Hands, for Black History Month project. The picture sort of all came together, and I started to realize and see that maybe something I could devote my life to, something I could do, something I would be happy and fulfilled to do would be not only to prevent death and prolong the life of my relatives, my loved ones, but to do the same for someone else, so that someone else's grandma, grandpa, cousin, uh, auntie, and uncle might live a longer, healthier life. And so that, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, that is really when I began to consider the idea of a life dedicated to medical service. It's funny because I didn't really consider the debt burden of not only applying to medical school, but also going through and experiencing medical school until until I really began applying. So when I took the MCAT my senior year of college and paid, over $300 for the MCAT, that sticker price was very shocking, but it wasn't surprising, especially given the way that academia in this country is set up, and in which there are financial burdens, and in which a lot of these testing centers and testing modalities do require you to pay money of some sort. Um, and if you don't meet a certain bracket, or you don't, even if you don't have the resources, but it's still a very expensive test, sometimes options can be limited. However, I did know that I wanted to take a gap year to save money before medical school, as well as, again, get more exposure and just live that 9 to 5 life and see what it was like to be peripheral to medicine and healthcare before I jumped right into my medical training. So I was very fortunate throughout my journey in my adolescence to have had Black healthcare providers at every step of the way. I believe it's critical because if we can see people taking care of us who look like us, we're not only inspired to do the same for our fellow brothers and sisters in our communities, but we also feel that, in a way, that having someone who reflects our culture, our ethnicity, our being, our essence, does lend itself to just an implicit sort of sense of respect or honor between the patient physician dynamic. So getting that email, I think it was April 29th or April 30th. It was the last day of April, I want to say, because they told us not to announce anything until May 2nd, that following week. Getting the email notification that I was an ElevateMeD scholar was huge. It not only meant that certain doors could be opened for me, that I would have access to Black professionals, Black and Brown professionals who understood my journey and empathized with my struggles, but it also meant that I would be a part of a larger cohort, a larger community of like-minded Black and Brown medical students on this journey as we speak in real time, with whom I could bounce ideas off of, resource share, network, and keep in touch with and build community with, because who knows where we're all going to end up for residency and for practice. So it's just an incredible network, an incredible family to be part of, to know that along each of the coasts of this country and at different institutions, I'll be able to say I have friends and colleagues there that I can reach out to. To everyone who has donated resources and capital and time to uplifting ElevateMeD as a scholarship program, I want to say thank you. 1,000 times thank you. Thank you for acknowledging and recognizing the fact that Black and Brown medical students have been and continue to be underrepresented in medicine. Thank you for appreciating the diversity and the stories and the narratives that we bring to the medical field. And thank you for choosing to support us financially as well as professionally in this journey. We promise to give back 100% as much as we can, and that your efforts would not be in vain.